Hi students and learning guides, this is Mrs. Downey, and in this video I'm going to go through the new changes that we have made to the curriculum to hopefully make the curriculum a little smoother for you to work through and help you organize a little better. I'd first like to say thank you for your patience and working with us to get through some of the challenges that we faced with our new curriculum. But we hope we are off to a better start. So let me show you what we've done. When you log into attendance and you land on your 5th grade class page, you always see pacing of lessons. And in this area, we are going to have a link that's called the Core Daily Checklist. We have created a checklist for the week to show you exactly what you need to do each day and what is to be completed, sort of the to-do part of each lesson. So what workbook pages will I do, or what your turn will I do, or what will I write in my notebook will all be listed here for you. So this one starts with Tuesday because we were not in school on Monday. And as you can see, we have listed here the activities that we gave you to do instead of Connexus. And so this is an example of how your checklist works. We gave independent reading activities and we gave you a checklist of things that you should have done each time. Also note that your internet safety lesson is here, and oftentimes our documents will be interactive, which means they'll have a link embedded in them, like this one. Complete Lesson 1 is a link so you can go directly to the internet safety lesson straight from your checklist. So when you get to Connexus for the curriculum, we are going to skip trial and error and we're going to go straight to Seeing for Yourself Day 1. The name of our unit is Seeing for Yourself, and this is the first day. We start on Thursday, which will be the day that you're watching this video. So when you get to the checklist, you will look through the checklist and this will correlate with what you're looking at in Connexus. So your first section will be Get Started Reading, and in that section you will have these 3 things to do. You need to watch, ask and answer questions with Maya, then you're going to read A Life in the Woods, and I tell you where you can find that. Reading Writing Workshop, page 51, and discuss the questions. Now, keep in mind that you did receive the Reading Writing Workshop book, but it's also a link online, so it's your choice as to which one that you use. And then complete your turn on page 56, and I always tell you which book you're going to find that information. Now, if you notice that I put reading notebook here, that's because I want you to complete this activity within your reading notebook, which you should have set up the first week of school. Then the next section goes to vocabulary. Follow the vocabulary routine. That information is listed for you in the lesson guide slides, as well as the student page in the curriculum in Connexus. Then you can see for vocabulary, I want you to complete your turn on page 49 in the Reading Writing Workshop, and I want you to write that in your vocab notebook. Let's take a look at grammar. Compound sentences and conjunctions. This is an activity that I want you to do, and it's a link in the curriculum. So I've noted activity link. And for grammar, that's all that you're going to do on day 1 of the unit. Then for spelling, you have a spelling pretest. That can be done orally, or you can have the learning guide read the words to you. And then you have a spelling cards routine. These word cards are in a link, or you may use a practice list. You don't have to use the word cards. It's just flashcards that you can print out and cut for your student to use as practice for their spelling words. Then in review, I have noted that all of the review activities for today are optional, and then I want you to complete the quick check, Seeing for Yourself Day 1. And you're complete with language arts for day 1. Then, as you notice on day 2, it begins all over again. The Getting Started Reading, and I have listed the items that you need to complete. I have put the books where you can find the information, and I've made notes to help the student find cause and effect relationships. So gives you a link as to what the student may be learning. If you take a look down here, Complete Graphic Organizer, I tell you that that can be found on page 22 in the Your Term Practice workbook. Please notice that on the Reading Writing workshop, I will start abbreviating and writing RW, so you'll know that RW means the Reading Writing Workshop book. Such as down here on page 52, in the RW workshop, you'll find your homograph for Dove. Please notice that sometimes you're told to do Approaching Reproducibles page. Here it's 27. You did not receive a workbook called Approaching Reproducibles. These are all in a link that you may print, or you may choose to just write the answers in your reading notebook. I have also provided the full PDF of this workbook in a resource link that I will show you a little later in the video. I have made a similar checklist for both science and social studies. For this week in social studies, we are not doing any lessons. I just want you to focus on language arts and science, and we'll pick up with social studies next week. So for science, you have 2 lessons to do this week. We will not be adjusting science based on the day. Science or social studies will just be listed for what you need to complete for the week, because we don't have a science or social studies lesson for every day. We are leaving the timing up to the learning guide as to when that best fits in your schedule. So these are the things we want you to complete for science or social studies when I begin the checklist for you each week. As you notice, I've told you that you're going to read pages in the book and answer questions in your science journal. So there is your weekly checklist, and I would suggest that that is printed and used as a resource to gather materials that you need for the week, and then keep it in a binder so that you are sure your student completes the necessary assignments each day. Let's go into the course and take a look at a few changes. So yours looks a little bit different because I'm going in as a teacher, but you will see what your student course looks like when you log in. When we come to language arts, I want you to note that at the very top over here, I have put in an LVS resources folder. If you click on that folder, it's going to open up to a link here. And inside this Google Drive folder, you can always find the daily assignment checklist that I have listed on my web page. We will be adding those there and probably be a little ahead of you, so you can, if you want to move a little faster, you will be able to go here to find the resource links. Then if you go to the Language Arts resource folder, you will find answer keys for each of these workbooks or workbook pages that the student is required to do in the course. So if you're looking for answer keys for the Your Term Practice book, you'll find it in the LVS Resource Guide under Language Arts and Answer Keys. Also in Language Arts, there were a couple of workbooks that you did not receive. One was the Grade 5 Phonics and Spelling Reproducibles. That has been put in a PDF form here for you. And you can either choose to print the whole book if you want, or you can print specific pages. That's up to the learning guide. And remember when I mentioned in the checklist that sometimes you would be doing the Grade 5 Approaching Reproducibles? That full workbook is listed here in a PDF. In addition, there are a few science resources. For now, it's just for Unit 2 cells, and you can find some information here to help you organize your science lessons. And I did forget to show you one thing in language arts, so we're going to go back to the language arts area, and there is a folder called Spelling Pages. Each unit provides the student with several spelling pages that they can use to practice their spelling words. Sometimes these are included in lessons, but not always. So this is an extra resource that you can use with your student if you feel they need some help or practice in spelling. The next area I would like to show you is that in your course, you probably will not see meeting a need and trial and error. I have put those in the suitcase and hidden them away. You will see seeing for yourself. I will begin each unit by titling it. Instead of giving it a number like unit 1, 2, or 3, I just will call it unit seeing for yourself because the numbers don't always correlate and we don't want confusion with that. So seeing for yourself has 5 days of assignments. We're going to start with day 1. And I have pulled in all of the lesson guide slides into one area. So the learning guide would open up, hopefully in another device, whether that be an iPad or in a computer, and you would open up the lesson guide slides. And these slides should correlate or at least run smoothly from one to the next. And they should correlate with what your students are doing. So if your lesson guide says getting started, then your student should be on the getting started page, and this is the part that they will see. Things that go through the getting started or the instruction pages, you will find that they directly connect to the checklist. So you're going to want to have your checklist with you as you navigate through these pages. A couple of tricks, if you are not aware of, is that you can navigate from one page to the next by clicking the arrows at the top. And if you would like to get rid of this taskbar over on the left-hand side, all you have to do is click to full screen and it goes away, and you can navigate from page to page here. So far, we have found that the links are working in all courses. There are a few areas in science that we still need to get answer keys for, but other than that, the updates seem to have corrected all of our issues along the way. We hope that our checklist will help the students and the learning guide navigate through the curriculum a little bit better. And of course, we are always available for questions to help you work through any issues that you may have. Again, thank you for your patience, and we look forward to a much smoother week and a very successful year.